What up? It's your boy Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? The Airbrush assassin putting in work. You know what I mean? We always making sure y'all got that hotness, that straight hotness. You know what I'm saying? Putting in work again, y'all watched the first DVD. You know what I'm saying? How to do the custom T-shirts, the urban, you know what I'm saying, design on the T-shirts, the urban transfers and all that. We got something new, something hot for y'all. You know what I mean? Everybody want to start doing custom tennis shoes and all that. Everybody want to do custom tennis shoes. You know what I mean? But it's always the wrong and the right way to do it. We've been doing tennis shoes now for like 10, 14, 15 years putting in work, you know what I'm saying, grinding it out. We done went through all the trials and tribulations. We done went through the acrylic paints and paint brushes and all that. It's only one good way to do custom Air Force Ones, custom Jordans, custom Timberlands, custom tennis shoes. And that's doing the custom airbrush way, you know what I'm saying. Take a little time, you know, you gotta do a little tape up and a proper preparation, but we're gonna help y'all get it together, you know what I mean, so y'all can get this money out here. First thing you want to do, man, is your tools. Your tools are very, very vital. You always want to have, you know what I'm saying, the right materials and the right tools. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong. So I'm going to kind of go through a couple of different things with y'all, show y'all the right tools and the right preparation to kind of get this thing started. We're going to start off with the cleaning first, you know what I'm saying? You got to have the right surface. The surface has to be clean. So, you know what I'm saying, you can use a glass cleaner, you know what I mean? Some cats use Windex. I go with the little cheap, you know what I'm saying, dollar store brand, you know what I mean? We got the glass surface cleaner, all purpose, doing it big for $1. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure that the shoe is nice and clean, you know what I mean, before you start applying any kind of paint to it. From there on, you know what I'm saying, you wipe down the whole shoe, make sure everything is clean, any smudges, any dark marks, wipe it all down. Then you want to go to a good tape adhesive. I always mess with 3M, you know what I mean. If you can possibly get always the green tape. I know you go to the store, you're going to go to a hardware store, you're going to see, you know, certain different kind of like 3M tapes. You want to go always to an automotive store, you know what I mean, that sells like automotive parts, automotive paint. Tape is very, very important. You want to get something that has, you know, pretty good harsh adhesive, you know what I mean, but something that's kind of like real light. Because if you taping up a pair of shoes, you definitely don't want the adhesive getting stuck onto the shoes, and that's a big problem. We done been there, done that. This tape is gonna kind of run you a little bit, between like $5 and $10 a roll, you know what I mean, but on the end result, it comes out perfect every time. So you want to go with something, like I said, a high-end 3M Scotch tape. I think this is Scotch 2233 plus 2-inch tape. You know what I mean? It's real good quality. Like I said, it's gonna run you anywhere from $5 to $10. The next thing, get you a sharp X-Acto blade. These blades you can get in any like hardware store. You can get them at a lot of hobby shops. That's the main thing. You want to make sure you get to a clean, sharp edge when you're cutting through that tape. So get your X-Acto blade. And then you got little odds and ends kind of things like, you know, Q-tips. I know everybody got Q-tips in their house. Their grandmama got Q-tips. I got Q-tips. Everybody got Q-tips. Get you some Q-tips, because you're always going to have little small mistakes, little areas you might have to clean up. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing like a good Q-tip, you know what I'm saying, to kind of help you get some of that adhesive off or overspray. So, you know, get you some Q-tips. And then you got a couple different kind of like clear coats. This is very, very, very important. A lot of cats, you know what I'm saying, do gym shoes, you know what I mean, but they don't put that clear, that protectant on top. You're going to definitely have to put a nice clear on top of it. You want to get something that's kind of, you know, that's kind of durable, but not like super duper durable and not super duper glossy. So what I usually get is very inexpensive. It's made by Match It. It's a clear lacquer spray. You know what I mean? A clear lacquer spray. You always want to make sure it's clear. You don't want to get anything with any flakes in it. You don't want to get anything with any kind of pearls in it. Clear lacquer, or you can go with like a clear enamel. And this would be kind of like a DuPont makes this. It's an acrylic enamel clear coat. And you want to be able to, you know, you put this, you apply this on top of the graphics after you get done with the tennis shoes. Y'all remember off the first DVD, we're going to use the same kind of water-based paint that we use on the t-shirts. It's called Createx. And then you got another brand called Aquaflow. You don't want to have anything too thick. People fail to realize that leather is still alive. It still has pores in it. With the acrylic and all that and some heavy buildup, you're killing the pores. So we always use some kind of real thin and transparent. Createx and Aquaflow, the airbrush paints take a little bit more time to build up. They're a little bit more transparent and not as opaque as a lot of the thicker paints. But it's a lot, it lasts a lot longer, especially once you get done putting a clear coat on top of it. That's basically it, man. You wanna, definitely just kind of keep all your materials and all that clean and organized. You never know when you're gonna have a quick rush job. These are the basic materials that you might end up having to use, Give or take, you might end up finding something that works a lot better for you. This is what we use in the shop, man. Like I said, we do, thousands and thousands of pair of tennis shoes online. Some of the tennis shoes you probably bought from a lot of the online stores, we wholesale to a lot of the guys. So just keep it going and just keep watching the tape. We got something else hot for y'all. All right, the first thing you want to do, like I said, man, you gotta make sure your tennis shoes is nice and clean. Cat's gonna be bringing you new shoes sometimes. Sometimes it's gonna be bringing you shoes that it already wore. So you always gotta make sure that the tennis shoe is nice and clean. The surface has to be clean. Like I said, we're gonna use our glass cleaner. You can use a little Windex. You always want to spray on a napkin first or a paper towel, and just kind of like wipe it gently. It's a lot of dirt you really can't see. A lot of smudges, a lot of oils from people's hands. You want to be able to get as much dirt and grime off as you can. Next thing you gotta do, man, is start taping up that sole. The main thing that a lot of guys fail to realize, man, is that the tape has a straight edge. So you always want the tape to kind of like work for you, meet you halfway. Now we see that little sole right there. We're gonna tape up that sole. You want to grab it. Use one finger to kind of like prop it down. Go right around that edge. And then use the other fingers just to kind of like pull it. Sometimes it slides a little bit, but we're gonna get it in there for you. So as you kind of applying the tape, use one of your hands to kind of like pull it in the right direction, then the other hand is kind of reinforcing it down. And just kind of let the tape work for you. It's a straight edge, so it's gonna work for you. A lot of guys want to tape up the whole shoe and then try to cut it out. Kind of go around. Sometimes you're gonna have a little pockets around the edges and the curves. Just take your time. That might be good right there. A lot of guys, man, like to paint the sole. We don't paint the soles. The sole is made out of water-resistant rubber. So if you paint it, even if you clear coat it, as they're walking through, it's gonna start cracking off or it's gonna start chipping. So a lot of times you just want to take your time, tape up the sole, get a real nice clean tape up job. I had already started on a pair of shoes right here. The tape should almost look like paint. From a distance, somebody should be able to come in like, why you got all that green paint on there? Your tape job is everything. It might take you a good 30 minutes, to tape up a good pair of shoes. At the end of the day though, the result is everything, you might charge somebody like $100, $200 to do a pair of shoes, It might take you an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes just in the tape job alone, 15, 20 minutes just in painting it. So when you doing a pair of shoes, man, you gotta definitely make sure that the tape job is nice and clean. If you look around the edges of this shoe, which I taped up earlier today, the tape is butt to butt with the leather and a lot of the seams. And sometimes you might have a pair of shoes where the seams are a little different, you got a lot of different kind of like shapes overlapping everything. You always want to under tape. For instance, if it's going to be a crazy seam coming up. If I'm doing let's say I'm just doing this little area right here, and for some reason I can't tape up butt to butt with this. You always want to give it a little play. So you're keeping a small gap in between. So then you can always come in with a Q-tip or a X-Acto blade and then kind of clean up that edge a little bit. You never want to over tape. You never want to tape over top of the area, because when you take the tape off, it's going to be a white line. So keep that in mind. Kind of take your time and come up with a nice little strategy on how to kind of like overlap A lot of times with the tape jobs too, you might be taping over top of paint. For instance, if you're doing a two-color tape job and